home with my boo. You know the mother girls, they want your spot, but I tell them all the time, no, she's at home, baby. Oh, she is. See, I wanna be by your side. Oh, I'm out here on yeah. She hold me down, she keeps me whole. While I'm out here rocking shows. Hey, come home, no fuss, we make sweet love. No needing in the club. Oh, I got all I need, I'm through with searching. So let me tell you one more time, I'm loving my lady. She's at home with. She is my lady. See, I wanna be by your side, but I'm out here on mine.
We ain't gotta have a plan for his wife in his seat. Cause ain't no money in the house, ain't no love in the streets. When I leave home, it can be so bittersweet. But no worries, love, I'll be back home in a week for sure. Right now I'm riding through Tennessee. I see your reflection when I look out the window. You sitting next to me, soon as I turn my neck to see your face, no trace of you. I hit the gas, all my homies looking at me like, why you driving so fast? Cause I'm coming home. Coming home.
Got me going crazy, switching lanes, doing about 80. I'm tripping, and I can't help it cause I'm missing my lady. She's at home, baby. At home, at home, at home. She's my lady. Oh, lady. See, I wanna be by your side. Cause I'm out here on my grind.
Yeah, once again, it sure is truly the Cyber DJ, the CK, locked inside your World Wide Web browsers. Beautiful Monday morning, man, where I'm at. I hope it's the same where you are at, man. It's about 10 o'clock Central, man. And for those that got the post a little while ago, for those that got the text, I am currently being joined live by my good brother, mentor, coach, and friend, Jawar. AKA Jawar Speaks, man. And the new thing I got for y'all is when Jawar speaks, you definitely need to be listening. Jawar, how are you doing this morning, good brother?
I'm doing fantastically fine, outstandingly beautiful, fantastically super great. I mean, if I was doing any better, you would have to take me off the plate because it would be downright criminal. Thank you for asking. What's the task? And let's get it happening. You know we blasting. What's up, brother? What's going on, family?
Oh, man, you bring a smile to my face every time you do that, man. God bless you. Man, I'm definitely excited about this week's installment of the Bitcoin Ballers cryptocurrency and Bitcoin news and views, man. Before we get started, I just want to, and we're going to do this pretty much at the beginning and the end of each one of these shows. I want to just drop out a real quick disclaimer. Number one, myself and my good brother here, Jawar, are by no means Bitcoin or cryptocurrency experts. However, we are two good brothers that have actually, gotten our feet wet and have experienced some very good situations thus far, and are looking forward to a lot more. Also, do not invest what you cannot afford to lose. This is an investment, and investments, it is somewhat a high risk because, again, this is a volatile situation. It's a volatile market, but there have been some great gains. A lot of people have made life-changing movements and have gone forward to as well enlighten others on how this whole big thing works. And then as well, man, we're definitely not legal tax advisors or anything of that nature, man. We're just, like I said, here to give you good information. Now that the carpet has been rolled out for you, my brother Jawar, let me know what you got for the people this week, brother.
Oh, man, I appreciate that and a disclaimer as well. Can you still hear me? Fantastic. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you loud and clear, man.
Sound good. Well, offline, you was mentioning that you had a couple things that you wanted to talk about, and so I wanted to see if you wouldn't mind. Let's get right into it and maybe asking that first question, and let's go ahead and dealing with that right now. Let's just get right into it.
Yes, sir. Well, one of the big things, if you're a crypto head and you are into the entire world of what's going on with this cryptocurrency, you probably noticed a lot of news about a new exchange that is doing some great things, or at least right now they sound to be really great things. And I just wanted to get your viewpoints on Robinhood, brother Jawar.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So Robinhood is a company that's been around for a few years, and essentially they set themselves up so that individuals could start investing into the stock market with low points of entry, meaning it didn't take a lot of money. You could do it right from your smartphone. And so they've been around, they've been gaining market share in that environment, helping a lot of people that are W-2 employees, 9 to 5 or so to speak, who didn't have a wealth of education on investing but wanted to get started because they knew that in order to create income producing assets, in order to build financial freedom and wealth independence, that they needed to get going. And so Robinhood was a company that was set up to help people to go in that direction. With that being said, Robinhood recently announced that they were going to allow people to invest in a number of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, I think Ethereum, Litecoin, and a few others. And they were going to do so at least for a limited time without you having to pay any fees. Now, what does that mean? Let me make it plain, okay? The companies, they're called exchanges, Coinbase, Binance, Coin Exchange, and many others, the way that they make their money is that whenever you buy and or sell a cryptocurrency, they charge you a small transactional fee. And small is relative, but the point is that that's how they make their money, and we can't be mad at them because they set up the website, they created the infrastructure, they are doing the security to prayerfully and willingly keep hackers from hacking into your account. So, they keep their site up 24/7, and so they have bills to pay. They're in it for a profit, and so we're not mad at those companies for doing that, because if they didn't do it, how would we be able to buy the number of cryptocurrencies that are available to us, right? So essentially they charge that fee. And Robinhood is saying, we're gonna start off allowing people to invest in a certain number of coins, a cryptocurrency, and we're not gonna charge a fee. What that means is that money that you normally would pay to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or Ripple or Mooncoin or Redcoin or any of these other coins that are available, and I don't know which ones Robinhood will make available, but the point being is that additional money that you would normally pay in fees, you actually can now put towards investing, which means that you can make more money. That's a great thing, family. Now, with that being said, I know about Robinhood, but I've never used Robinhood personally. I've had a number of people to contact me because they give a little referral fee, when you refer people to their site. At least they did, and that was the way that they helped drum up more business, get more customers into the pipeline. It makes sense. It's a great way to market. But I've never used the service myself, but I have no qualms with it. From what I've heard from people, it's a good platform. It's relatively easy to use. They have decent, if not great, customer service. And so based on what I've heard from people, you know, it's definitely something to look at, you know, like that. So that's kind of my response to the question about Robinhood. I like to explore options. And so I would say that in addition to our other offerings with CoinbaseRiches.com and Binance and the other platforms that we use, that this would be one of many that we would consider, at least for the time being. Maybe you would look at it and see if they have the coin of your choice and then make the buy, you know, without having a transaction fee. But there's a but there. Okay. But family, we always have to do our personal due diligence and research, meaning that it's not that the company has a check, because I don't know this, but you want to make sure that you understand the full terms of the relationship and the agreement. So, for instance, with some of these exchanges, you have to have a minimum amount before you can transfer the money. So, you know, like on one of my accounts, I think I might have had $20 in it or something like that. And this is not Robinhood. Let me make that. This is not Robinhood. This is a different exchange. And I forget which one, family. But when I attempted to do the transfer, the company said no because I didn't have enough money. So it was like you had to have at least $100 in order to transfer. Well, that can be problematic because now I have $20 sitting in an account that I can't use. And it's like, well, damn. You know what I mean? So I literally have to either wait for that money to increase in value or add more money to it, then transfer it back out. And that's a lot of different activities. So my point being is with Robinhood, you want to just do your due diligence and research and find out, do they have any minimums? When it's time to take your money out, how does that process work? How long does it take? Some exchanges will process your money immediately. Others take a little bit longer. And so these are things that you want to do the research on to ensure that you're not just jumping the gun simply because they said, well, we're not charging you any fees. Okay, well, that sounds good, but what does that mean in my real life, me being an investor? You know what I mean? So did I answer that question, Brother Jamal?
Yes, sir, Brother Jawar, and you did it well. I thank you for that, man. I myself, I don't know, man. I know, you know, we talk about this a lot, man. I'm so leery when it comes to, and I guess this is, like I said, because of my feet still just, you know, they're still brimming in the water. I've just been a little leery about anything outside of course, our major exchange to date here in the U.S., Coinbase, and then as well my major foreign exchange, Binance. Those two I just feel so much more comfortable with. But that's not to say not to like the brother Jawad says, not to say it's not, you know, that you cannot utilize other scenarios. I just feel like in that, as you stated, man, the due diligence of true research just really makes the whole thing work out so much better. I mean, because at least if you research, you kind of have a better idea of what or what you may not be dealing with. Also, another thing I always recommend is to reach out and find out exactly what Google is saying about these scenarios. I think Google's probably so sweet because, you know, people really like put their feelings about something. So if they have a good experience in one facet of life or another, it's a good chance that they put some information about it on Google and have expounded upon what they did or didn't like about it. So that's just one of my things as far as, you know, how I kind of develop a snapshot of the different entities that take part in this whole cryptocurrency world of things, you know, bro. But personally, man, I think, you know, the no fees just sounds really good. I like to see exactly how long that's going to last. And as well, I like to as well know about how the limits are as far as, you know, the ways you can pull and actually be able to utilize. Like you said, who wants to have money just lingering online, because it's like, come on, man, I put it there so that I can utilize it. You know what I'm saying? So I dig where you're coming from on that. Now, I know that we had a couple of more things that we wanted to talk about, but before we did, I wanted to invite all the people that are tuning in to us that have not gotten their feet wet, that have not gotten a basic scope of exactly what cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is truly all about. I want to invite you guys to go over, and I just pinned it. If you're watching this live on Facebook, that's at facebook.com/atlwebradio. I pinned it inside of the Facebook chat, and there's a website that you guys should go to not only get a little more information, should I say a lot more information, but as well so that you can actually open up your own account and give it a shot. The website address is earnsavebitcoin.com. That's earn, EARN, save, SAVE, Bitcoin, BITCOIN.com. One more time, that's earn, EARN, save, SAVE, Bitcoin, BITCOIN.com. There is a site that my good brother Jawad put together, man, and I have to say that it was a phenomenal idea, because not only does it give you a good cookie cutter introduction, but as well it as well gives you the opportunity to jump right in. And I myself, when I initially went in, this is something that is so unique, man. You can get in for, I got in for as little as $10. I actually started my account with $10. Now, you're not going to be able to go a long way with $10. However, it is an opportunity to truly see, how it kind of works. And then I think that in itself will intrigue you to go further and dig deeper when it comes to the research, good brother. But what are your thoughts on that site? I know that's a site that you put together, man. Give us a little more insight on that. I might have missed a few things, man.
Well, man, let me tell you something now. Excuse me. Now, you told people they can get started with $10 now. Sometimes I want to be mad at you, and sometimes I want to just give you a hug, brother. Let me tell you why. Sometimes I want to be mad at you because I'm like, well, why you tell them $10? Because I know that some of my people, man, when you tell them $10, they like, oh, that ain't nothing. I can't mess with that. Y'all ain't really doing nothing. And then for my other people, I'm trying to stretch their minds a bit to say, hey, man, take some of that smoke and drink money, take some of that shoe money over there, take some of that extra clothing money, man, and go ahead and put your 25 or 50. But I know why you did it, and that's why I say I got to give you a hug, because you do it in love for the people to get them started. So I can't do nothing but appreciate and respect that. I did that so much so while you was talking, I said, let me do the math on this. Now watch this, how this going to work out, family.
I love it. Check it out, y'all.
So check this out. Last month, I found some coins that was for a penny. Now let's do the math. If you had $10 and the coin was 1 penny, you could effectively bought 1,000 coins. Watch out now. Now, some of the coins was 2 pennies. So for $10, you could have got 500 coins. Well, what does that mean? Well, let me do it like this. We deal in percentages, not just the dollar amount. Okay. So if you ask yourself, where can you double your money legally in a relative short time frame? Meaning that if you put in 50, you get back 100. If you put in 10, you get back 20. If you put in 1,000, you get back 2,000. Where can you double your money? All right, now, this does not guarantee that you will double your money in any particular time frame, but let me make this plain. Some of the cryptocurrency that I bought last month, right? Like one of them is Verge. It's XVG. If I'm not mistaken, I bought some Verge at 2 pennies a share back in December. And it's January 2018. So back in December 2017, for the record, I think I got some Verge for 2 cents a share. All right. Now, let me go on here. I'm at howtobuymorecoins.com. Right, howtobuymorecoins.com. Verge XVG is at 9 cents a share. That means that if I subtract the 2 cents that I paid, 2 cents from 9 cents, that's a 7 cent profit. That is over 300% profit. Over 300% profit. You understand me, family? Over 300% profit. That means that was done in about a 30-day time period. Now, my disclaimer is it doesn't always happen like that. It is not guaranteed to happen. I could have lost my money. I really could have. But here's something else. Verge XVG a couple of weeks ago actually went up to, I think, about 18 or 19 cents. So you're talking about over 1,000% profit. That's gigantic. And even though it's come down off that, it's still more than what I paid for it.
Yes, sir. That
means I'm in a good position. So what Brother Jamal and I want, what we're doing with this show is we want to empower, not what we want to do. What we're doing is we're empowering you with a thought process and strategy so that you, yourself, family listening in, can go and do the research and you can decide for yourself what coin is best to put in your portfolio. Because what's good for Brother Jawar's portfolio, what's good for Brother Jamal's portfolio, may not necessarily be good for your portfolio, family. And we're long-term investors, meaning we buy and we hold. We use what we call dollar cost averaging, Brother Jamal. Yes. And we talked about that. The dollar cost averaging, family, is like this. It says that every time you get paid, so whether you are a 9-to-5 or you get paid once a month, twice a month, 4 times a month, or you're on commission, you're a real estate agent, you're a real estate broker, you work in the mortgage industry and you get paid commissions, you're a car salesman or car saleswoman and you get paid commission. Every time you get paid, you're going to take a portion of your money and you're going to invest it into cryptocurrency. You're going to do the research. And then when the market dips down, like right now, most of cryptocurrency is in the red. When the market dips down, because you've done some great research, you're going to buy more of what you're already buying to increase your position so that 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now, you won't be sitting on a hell of a lot of money. That's what the goal is by proper education, doing your due diligence, being disciplined, committed, doing dollar cost averaging and buying more when the market dips and holding. You're going to create a portfolio for yourself that you're going to be so happy about.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Okay. Now, with that being said, Brother Jamal, all right. With that being said, okay. Last week, and I'm not telling family to buy this because, again, you have to do your own research. But last week, I bought a coin and the ticker symbol was IOST. IOST. Now, when I bought it, it was surging. What that means is that it was in the green and it was rocking and rolling. Okay. And when I got in, I think it was at about 7 or 8 cents per share. Now, it went up to about 13 cents in like 2 or 3 days. Now I'm looking at it right now. It's back at 7 cents. Does that mean you should buy? I don't know. I'm not telling you that you should buy. Does that mean you should sell if you own it? I'm not telling you to sell it. That's your personal decision. I'm only being transparent, telling you what I did with mine. So I bought a couple because I liked it. You know, I went to coinmarketcap.com and I looked up the ticker symbol and then I checked out the website and the website was clean. It loaded fast. The website told me about the development team and the founders of the company. And I said, well, I like what they're doing here. This looks interesting. This is a fascinating a solution that these folks are putting into the market. And it just came out of what is called an ICO, an initial coin offering, you know, like that. And so I decided I would pull the trigger and invest some money, Brother Jamal. And I did that, and I'm okay. Now, I'm holding. Now, keep in mind that this thing could go down. It could zero out today. I hope it don't, but that's the risk that I take. I did a risk assessment, and I decided whether it was $10 or $100 or $1,000, could I afford to lose this money? And I said, well, I thought about it, and I said, I have an investment budget, and I'm going to take my investment budget, Brother Jamal and family, and I'm going to put it into this coin. And I did it, so I'm going to stick with it, Brother Jamal. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about that? Does that help us out?
It definitely helps us out. I think one thing that, because we've utilized two phrases quite a few times in this conversation, Brother Jawar. And in that, for the family that are listening in, that are tuning in, that are watching us right now, those two phrases are: do your research, do your due diligence. A lot of people not fully understanding, exactly what that means. You went into a great deal of, you went into several portions of it just a second ago when you spoke about going to coin market cap, looking at number one. I always look at myself. First part of my snapshot is when did the coin start? In other words, when was it officially offered for public to be able to actually start buying and selling and trading it? Number two, I also like to check out, as you stated, there are links right there on coinmarketcap.com. There's website information. So like you said, Brother Jawar, going to the website, doing your due diligence as far as, developing an opinion on the actual technology that the coin represents, going a little further and finding out about the developers, the CFO, the CEO, the founder, finding out, I'm noticing now a lot of the coins that are really, really strong and gearing up for some major movement here in 2018 are actually now posting dates of different developments that are taking place in the actual movement of the coin, and that as well as I stated earlier, doing your Google searches and checking the reviews. Something else that I found really was helping me determine about an exchange just recently. Going to the Facebook fan page of it, going to the Twitter fan page of it, going to the actual Instagram page if they have one, and seeing what the people are saying about the coin or the exchange or the topic when it's in reference to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. All these things kind of help to develop what I call a snapshot and actually giving you the opportunity to decide, like you were saying about Verge, this is a coin that you liked, and like I say, these are the things that help you decide, whether, you really like or dislike a coin. So yeah, I think definitely what you said, good brother, is it makes a whole lot of sense, because that's one of the major things that, because everybody right now is, Bitcoin is the big cryptocurrency that did really well over the last 8 to 9 years. And actually, it really didn't do really well until about the last 3 to 4 years. But it's had some gradual gains over the last 8 years, and it's just been really marvelous for people that did exactly what you spoke of early, Brother Jawar, which was buy and hold. That is such an important statement as well. Now, again, that's how it works for myself. That's how that's the kind of investor I am when it comes to Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. I'm looking at it from the position of, I want to buy coins that I can hold on to for 6 months, 12 months, and I might get one of those virtual punches from John when I say 6 months, but because my brother, he likes to start off with at least 12 months, but 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. Even 48 months, man, looking at the long range picture, man, guys that did 48-month rolls from 2013 or 2017, man, they did excellently, on not just Bitcoin, but a few other coins, man. So, these are the kind of things, again, that you want to take into consideration when you're deciding about exactly how you're going to do whatever you're going to do when it comes to investing in cryptocurrency. One of the other really important things that I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of discuss today, Brother Jawar. And before I did, I want to remind everybody, go to the website, earnsavebitcoin.com. I got it pinned here in the comments of the Facebook chat. If you are watching this live, I see we got quite a few people just tuned in via audio from Germany, New Jersey, the UK, St. Louis. France is definitely in the building in several different instances right now. A beautiful thing. And I just want to Kentucky, Canada, Pennsylvania, Lincoln University. People are tuning in and checking this thing out. So if you're not watching right now, be sure and write this down. Get a pen and pad. Write down earnsavebitcoin.com. New Delhi, India just tuned in. I like to say that one of the real, and a lot of people are here to get some coin tips, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to say that for you before we go. I know I got a couple of tips for you. I know my good brother has a couple of tips for you as well. But before we get into all of that, one other thing that I would really, really be grateful for you to expound upon, Brother Jawar, is payment solutions. Because a lot of people, their biggest fear of a scenario when they're investing is how fast, if they see a downtrend and they're the kind of person that runs as fast as they can when they see downtrends, how fast can they really grab their money and make it liquid? And I wanted to know from you, Brother Jawar, at this point, I know that you have experienced a few ups and downs when it comes to learning this business, man. What have been some of the more relevant and beneficial payment solutions? I'm talking about ways to actually cash out from a Coinbase or a Binance to be liquid.
Right. So that's a great question, a great segue, and I realize that needs to be known because everybody wants to know how to get their money. So let me say this. This market, cryptocurrency, this industry is still in its infancy stages, okay? And there's tremendous growth ahead of us in this space. There's a lot of uncertainty in terms of government regulation and where the exchanges are, and even safety in terms of how safe are your coins on an exchange or in your personal wallet stored on your computer. Some of you may remember several years back during the banking crisis here in the United States, there was a run on banks because people were afraid that they were not going to be able to get their money, and I remember in California, there was one particular bank called Indy Bank, and I don't think they're in business anymore. And people were standing in line for hours because they were attempting to get their money out of the bank. But because of what was going on, some people were not able to get all of their money because, one, the money that's in the banking institutions more often than not in the United States are what is called FDIC insured. At that point, they were federally insured up to $100,000. Now it's federally insured up to $250,000. These things are very important, and I'm a segue into your question, but I have to set up these scenarios. And so we're talking about an industry that's well over 100 years old, that is reportedly highly regulated by the federal government, the SEC, so forth and so on. And yet when the banking crisis happened, a number of U.S. citizens, people that had their money in United States banks, were not able to get all of their money as quickly as they wanted to. And because some people had money that was over and above the 100,000 threshold, some people didn't get all their money back. They only got a percentage of their money. And so, and for some people, it took longer to get their money because the truth of the matter is, family, is that by federal law, the banks are only required to keep a small percentage of your cash liquid. So when you go in and you make your $100 deposit, that money doesn't stay in the bank for long. That money is lent back out to individuals and businesses for investment purposes. And the banks are only required to keep a small percentage of their deposits in the bank liquid. And so what you had is meaning your money is not federally insured. It's an investment. If you put your money in and somebody hacks into the exchange, your money's gone. It's gone. If you put your money into your private wallet and store it on your computer and your computer's hacked, your money's gone. If the market bottoms out and goes to zero, your money is gone. And you need to understand that when we talk about getting your money. All right. Brother asked, oh, okay, and then the other part, before I get to the last part, the other part is there are times that the market has so many people trying to either buy cryptocurrency or sell because there's a fear or something's going on, that the market starts to crash. And what that means is it locks up the system. There's so many people on the computers, on their phone, trying to get their money out. The servers are saying, we're in overload. We can't take anymore. You'll have to wait to get your money. So although your money might actually be there, you're unable to get it at that moment because there's so many people trying to do the same thing that you're doing at the same time. With that being said, this is another reason that we take the long-term buy and hold strategy, so that prayerfully you're never in a position that you have to run and get your money at the same time that everybody else is running and getting their money, because that could prove to be very complicated and an inconvenience to your financial well-being. All right. There are certain debit cards that you can get that actually has Bitcoin on it. Now, with the other currencies, those I'm not so sure about, but I know that there's some companies like Visa or MasterCard, you can get these debit cards that have your Bitcoin on it, and you can access that money at the point of purchase. So you can go to your favorite restaurant, grocery store, the gas station, and make a purchase. Now, here's the thing about what we're seeing on this broadcast, and that I need people to be reminded of as they listen to it in the future. These things are constantly changing because we're still in the infancy stages. So MasterCard and Visa, I think, don't quote me on this, family, but I think they came out and said with some of the credit card companies, they're no longer going to do business with them. And so what we have is the information is constantly being changed and updated. So we all have to go back to due diligence, do our own research, because by the time some of our family hears this message, this information may be outdated. I mean, it's just that real, Brother Jamal. But I wanted to give the framework. I know it was kind of long-winded, but I think it was absolutely necessary to have this intelligent and most informed conversation. What do you have for us on the subject? Because I know you got something.
Well, I am the kind of guy that first off, I want to retouch on something. I want to piggyback off of something that you actually spoke on in your last statement before we got into this. I'm the kind of guy when it comes to investing, I believe that, we daily invest or put our money into things that, at the end of the day, we may or may not have anything to show for it. And so I want to go back into what Brother Jawad said first and foremost before I get into that, the direct answer to your question, which is, an investment budget is so important. And everybody thinks, well, I gotta, if it's an investment budget, investment sounds large, and again, a budget, that's means it's something that you're going to put increments into on a periodical basis, whether it's daily, whether it's weekly, whether it's bi-weekly or monthly. This is a scenario in which you're going to say, well, I can afford to lose, let's say $20 a week. So once a week, I'm going to deposit $20 a week into my Coinbase. and figure out what I'm going to do from there. Now, in that, I personally believe at this point that I actually just recognized that I thought that it was actually something that was completed, but I see now that they're still working on it. Of course, you're not able to directly leverage a PayPal monies for Bitcoin. However, you can utilize, if you own a PayPal MasterCard business debit, you can currently now actually, pay for, your Bitcoins directly through that, with the debit card. I've done this, so I'm privy to it. I can tell you that that's something that works for sure. But what I've also noticed now is that Coinbase is doing so, like you said, this thing is so infantile at this point that, a lot of things are changing. But I noticed in the withdrawal area of my Coinbase account that they now have an option to be able to dump directly into your PayPal account. Now, that option is not operational as of date, but the fact that they are showing that option typically means that sooner or later, and let's hope sooner, that's going to be a very option, and I believe that's going to be probably one of the smartest ways to liquidate if necessary. Now, I have also reached out to a number of different card issuers that actually have exchanges similar to what my brother Jawa was speaking about inside the framework of the card that allows for a Bitcoin to US dollar exchange directly inside of the movement, inside of the transaction. So this would allow you to, in fact, be able to liquidate or at least utilize or leverage your earnings or investment monies through a Visa or MasterCard debit card. Now, thus far, the one that I like, I haven't actually got in with that yet, because the beautiful thing about Coinbase is they actually directly set up a vault for each one of the 4 coins that they currently offer. So at any time you're feeling like, or maybe I should pull for a second and look around and see something else that I might want to do. And I say that I'm saying pull like the money I have in one coin and maybe look around and maybe push into another coin. You can actually vault it, which is a very, very good opportunity. And in that case, you don't even have to totally liquidate. You can actually just kind of hold. We just got a Facebook comment from Yvette Lozada that says Litecoin has its own card coming in February. That's called LitePay. I'm very, very, very into what I've seen thus far, one called BitPay. And I have a few reasons of my own for liking BitPay. Again, I have not indulged in it thus far, but I plan to do so before this week is out. But BitPay, I noticed, had a nice a low fee to actually open the account and have the card shipped to you. And then as well, it kind of reminded me of the PayPal infrastructure. And I've been a PayPal user for well over 10, 12 years now, and I made a lot of money through PayPal. And it's been very, very beneficial to me. I pay my bills currently with my PayPal account. So that just allows me to, make a lot of different movements. And I think that BitPay is a great option. Another one that I actually researched and actually applied for that I didn't like was the PayCent card. PayCent actually, after I proportionately filled out the application, it sent me back an email and said, well, all you have to do is send us over $140 and that'll cover your card being issued and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, whoa, 140. And that was like way out of the ball range for me, but the ball game for me. But I did in the same breath go to Google. Man, I love Google, man. I love the internet in itself, just because and not so much the internet, but what the internet can do for each and every one of us that has access to it. I've said this time and time again, the internet is truly the largest library known to man. And if somebody has experienced it, or if they're trying to sell it or promote it, 9 times out of 10 in this day and age, they're going to be there. So what's going on now is you can actually go on Google payment solutions for Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, and there are actually lists. I found several lists, anywhere from 40 down to the top 3 or top 5 places where you can go and set up a account to be able to actually utilize and leverage those monies that you're earning, and as well that you're depositing through cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. I got to stop for just a quick second. Give a shout out to the people over in Ashburn, Virginia that just tuned in. We also had some people from Majan, Kroluski, Poland that are now tuning in. Zabrizi, Poland just tuned in. The Netherlands just tuned in. So, man, it's just a beautiful thing right now. A lot of information being passed on. I'm hoping that this is a one of those situations where friends are telling friends, man. But it's beautiful the way this is catching on, Jawar. And I thank you in the midst of all of that, man, just for offering your expertise and your current knowledge thus far on the whole Bitcoin and cryptocurrency structure and world of things. Now, again, my personal favorite when it comes to payment solutions right now is BitPay, but I will be able to expound upon that more for you in the coming weeks. But another thing that you want to do is in that same breath of air, when you see those sites, because a lot of them will give you pros and cons, the locations in which you can actually use the cards, because some cards are country specific, or continent specific. So all these things you want to take into consideration. But the other good thing about Google is it will give you reviews. It will let you know exactly, based on other people's experiences, which one of these cards may or may not work for you, which I thought was another beautiful thing. Now, I don't know how much time my brother Jawar has. We normally try to do this thing for 30 minutes to an hour. Currently, we've been going at about 47 minutes. But one thing I wanted to do before we got out of here, Jawar, is real quick, first and foremost, repump the information as to how anybody that has tuned into the show can actually, learn a little bit more as far as like 101 and as well be able to actually dive right in. And that is, if you're watching us live on Facebook, you can actually see and click directly out of this into the link. But the link again is earnsavebitcoin.com. Earnsavebitcoin.com. Come on, brother Jawar.
Yes, sir. We do the rhythm with it. Earnsavebitcoin.com.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. So definitely go there and get more information and click on the links, man. You can't win. You cannot win if you do not play. That's one thing I will say. And brother Jawar, I wanted to give you, your time and not only, giving some of your final thoughts, but as well, if you could, please give the people a couple of coins to go on research that maybe have sparked a bit of intrigue or interest from you thus far, just so we can kind of gradually give these people the opportunity, our Bitcoin family, our cryptocurrency family that is tuning in, an opportunity to actually begin processes on researching some of these coins, man.
Right. So while you were talking, I just happened. How you doing? I was researching a coin that I've never seen before. It's called Revain, Revain. It's currently selling for $1.31. It's up 65%. The market cap is 242 million. That's good. The 24-hour volume is 4.6 million, almost 5 million. That's good. Circulating supply 185 million. That's good. Total supply 484 million. So that's good. It's not too high. So now what I'm doing is I'm going back. I mean, all those things look good, and I'm researching this right from my smartphone, from my mobile phone. Matter of fact, sidebar note, if you are loyal to a particular brand, LG, iPhone, Samsung, if you are loyal to a particular brand, you may want to consider buying stocks in that publicly traded company because your loyalty is helping that company to remain successful. Right. All right, so with that being said, I'm looking at Rebane, I'm looking at the charts here. And
excuse me, brother, real quick, what was that symbol for that?
I didn't give it yet. Hold on, I'm gonna give it in a moment. I wanted to so let's see here. If we go back, it looks like this particular coin went public, meaning that anybody could buy it back in November of 2017. And at that time, the coin was priced at 8 cents. And so it looks like, too, I'm looking at, it looked like it had let me see here. There was, let me get this right. Got to get these numbers right here. It looks like there was a significant dip back in December, late December, and it was at about 65 cents or so, and then from there it shot up, and it went to $1.13, came back down. Now it's back at $1. What did I say? $1.31. Let's see here. So let me see. It's definitely surging, and you want to be careful not to buy on the surge because you can get caught up and lose a lot of money that way. But it's one that's worth investigating. The ticker is R. The name of the company is Revain, REVAIN. And so you would just do some further research to find out if you like that company. So far, it looks pretty good to me. I normally, when it's surging like that, I give it 24 to 48 hours and see what's happening. Now, sometimes you can miss a great opportunity of buying more shares for less money, and sometimes you can make a more informed and wise decision. So, those things keep in mind. But you're right. I've invested a lot more time on this call than I had anticipated, but we did what we did, and so we are moving forward like that.
Most definitely. I wanted to drop one on them too that I found at this point I'm really starting to like, and I'm not gonna give you as much information as Brother Jawar did. My whole point of this is for you to go and actually check it out yourself. I want to intrigue the people out there, the listeners, to go find out, go look and see for yourself, and check some of the things, some of the factors that Brother Jawar. Yes, sir. Jack Jackson is joining us. He said Revain. That's REVAIN. But yeah, most definitely. I want to hip all of you guys to one that I'm very, 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 very interested in. The name of it is MetaBlock, and I just love the technology. MetaBlock has for a little while now remained around 8 to 10 cent area as far as the actual coin. However, currently it's right at around 8 cents. It's been in a bit of a decline these last couple of days, but definitely with that being said, like you said, man, it may be that time to buy, or it may be that time just to kind of camp out, see a little bit more about what's going on with it. And then make, like you said, make a more informed decision. But MetaBlock, the ticker is MED, and it's really a great cause, I think. And I think I'm the kind of guy that's probably going to do a little more, kind of like what you were saying about the brand of the phone. And I'm kind of more of I guess you call it emotion investor. I'm going to be investing more so on my emotions, on how I feel about how these companies can truly help not only myself but society as a whole, man. So definitely check out MED. And with that being said, any final words, Jawar, before we get out of here, man?
Think, plan, execute. Go to earnsavebitcoin.com. Watch the short video on how Bitcoin may rise to $1 million per coin. Opt in, meaning add your email, check your spam in your inbox, and go to CoinbaseRiches.com and get your Coinbase account set up, CoinbaseRiches.com. And those are both two URLs that I have set up. So when you take action and put your money in, and I get paid a little more money, and that's how we do it. With the CoinbaseRiches.com, you know, you go there, you get started. EarnSaveBitcoin.com. Brother Jamal family, thank you for listening. We're going to do it again, same time, same place, same grace, next week, and we can keep this thing moving. What I would ask of you to do also, family, as you're tuning in, put your questions in the comment section. And it would help us to address what you want us to address, because this is about a communication. This is about an engagement. This is not us just talking to you, but talking with you and having a conversation that's going to allow all of us to benefit greater from a financial standpoint, being individual investors. Although Brother Jamal and I are not licensed financial advisors, we don't give tax, legal, or investment advice. Keep that going. Think, plan, execute. Thank you, Brother Jamal. I'm done.
Most definitely. Thank you, Brother Jawa. I appreciate your time today, man. And as well, man, I definitely agree. I'm going to add something on to that, man. Y'all make sure y'all wake up to some water in your system. Utilize it all day long in your system, man, and go to bed with a little water, man. I find that water helps you just think a little bit straighter, man. You know what I'm saying? It clarifies, man. So definitely, as well as my good brother said, man, think, plan, execute. Think, plan, execute. Earn, save. Bitcoin.com, www.earnsavebitcoin.com. Again, you can check us out here live next week, Monday morning, 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern time, right here at www.atlwebradio.com. Until next week, man, y'all make sure y'all keep it locked to the #1 for hip-hop and R&B all across the planet, atlwebradio.com. Tune in or be tuned out.
What up, Third James? This is what I came up with. Chill.